Ladies, welcome to a what-if series that I've been craving for a long time. Since after watching One Piece yesterday over and over again, I thought because after seeing this man right here, I thought, let's do a video on him, shall we? So, in this what if, it's called, what if he was a zombie instead of his beloved? Basically, it's an alternate timeline. So not the story, but the One Piece story happens like normally, but his backstory, I kind of changed it. And so, yeah. So instead of having a Dr. Eggman and lookalike, if used with a vampire, he would be like the same thing as a zombie, but way more like, where is he? Where did he go? He might look like a skinny guy, or really buffed up guy with hands things. Yeah. So, let's begin with his backstory. So, it's the same thing, but, or not same, but he goes and like, he had a patient fix his, like, one of his buttons, and he loves her. And of course, she does that like little circus stuff. I can't find it. I don't remember where it is. She does her little circus stuff. And yeah, she ends up like, after the show, oh, right here, sorry. And yeah, so this is the after, and in this alternate timeline, he worries about her too much. So he wanted to come check on her before her, because he has a bad feeling about it. And of course, he was right. As he goes in, or he like walks through the front door to check on her, and no, like front gate thing, and he sees her like literally got thrown out of the window. Oh. And instead of hitting like the floor, but she landed on him. Or like lands right into his arms. Yeah. Or actually, yeah. He sets it down. Or, like, she looks at him. As he says, okay. As she says, yes, I'm okay. Thanks goodness you're here. Okay? As he then talked to that guy, or whoever threw you out a window. As so he does. And in there, the same guy that was told, like, this guy right here, the one that I have my cursor on, he ends up, like, of course, he asks him, why did you throw her out of a window? He said that she rejected him and threw a plate down, and yeah. And then okay. So the guy decides, we're here to, to be more polite, as it's a bad idea. As he, and there's one thing I may add, or like change. So, the vampire guy, or that same science guy, this guy, actually had a serum ready. And so when he did test it a bunch of times, and when he tested on himself, he became immortal. So basically, if anyone has a Del fruit, like a soul or the shadow fruit, couldn't even steal his shadow. And yeah, so basically, now let's get back into the story. So yeah, and of course, he looks at him and tells him, this is what he says, as this is what he told him, that if you're here to revenge her, go right ahead. As he pulls the gun on him and shoots him in the chest. As he, like, as he breaks that guy's arm, the one that had a gun in one of his hands. So he broke the arm on it. Not his arm, but the guy's arm. So then he died afterwards. He just lied there. As his body slowly dies out. As they buried him. As she kind of felt bad. And so we didn't get, like, what we see in the anime. No. Of course, in this alternate one, one of the other like creatures that was working with him decided and to like go grab him, that science guy, and brought him back from the dead. Yeah. And then basically he ended up getting the more, like his entire body has been surgically, like, took out all that belly fatness and redesigned him into a true monster zombie with bump up glasses and all that stuff. So basically he went from a knockoff version of Eggman that can basically do stuff to becoming a jacked up, buffed up man. Yeah. And because his body has been altered. He went from being him to being him, basically. So he worked with the cat-faced dude, or lion-faced dude. This guy right here. Here. So, yeah. So, basically, as time progressed, of course, one day, like, he was walking around doing, like, cleaning up and all that stuff. One day, she decides, or the ghoul princess, I think that's how pronounced, like her title thing, she decides, because every time she sees him walking around the castle, she just gets too embarrassed. Like, so what does she do? She walks over to him, and of course, he's a zombie general. Oh, and yeah, I said zombie general, like in. So he commands him to come with her, because she mustered up enough courage and to actually, as he says, of course, this is what he said. Or not really like what he said, but he wants to go see what the master is doing. Yeah, so when she commands him to like come with her, and so he did, and and she came, or like they both came into her bedroom. She closed the door and locked it. And yeah, a little bit privacy. And she decides and to basically ask him to, because they were like technically would be on a date. So she asks him to get married to her. And he applied because he's a zombie. And zombies that's in One Piece obeys every command thing. So they had a wedding going. She got dressed as to basically, and they both got married. Yeah. So she's happy for it. And but in his head, he's just embarrassed. Because he was like so embarrassed that even, yeah. So then they went back to her room after the wedding thing, and she decides to sit down on her bed and tells him to come. And do you want me to explain what happens next? Well, he basically did the deed. And now I'm going to introduce the custom character that I created. I don't know her full name yet, but she is a princess. Yes. She's a daughter to him and to that pink hair girl. Yeah. She has such a same character, right? Or not character, right? Character development thing. She's also, she has the same smart as her father. And yeah. Plus the serum, when it entered into to create that kid is also immortal. So basically she was born as immortal. She can never die. he, he buy anything. So, yeah. So, over years have passed. And of course, he, he still cooks for him. And, yeah. But let's say Luffy's team had her on it. So, yeah, in her human form, not the zombie form that you see before you. No, not that one. So, basically, yeah. And so the one day, or like after they both got married thing, of course, a lion face yells at the guy, hey, to basically obeys him. Like, he literally tries to have everyone in hun hun and to basically explain yeah, as she commands the that guy, the one that they're fighting over, like her husband and the other guy's like worker thing. So, yeah. And of course, the Luffy's team was doing like walks around. And of course, one day, or of course, after let's say they were with the Nami's group, and but when she saw him, or someone looks just like him, she has a weird feeling of she knows this man and from somewhere, as she couldn't picture it in her head of where she's seen him before. Of course, he was hanging out with some other girl, the brown-haired girl with a purple shirt. Yeah. And yeah. He hangs around with her, and of course, she hangs up with him as the of course, he commands him to go, everybody except for Nami. I'm still keeping that in because I know it's funny. Funny as could that he basically, that guy with like different animals, body parts thing, trying to kiss the Nami. He. So, as, yeah, so my character, or so in this alternate version thing, yeah, so he obeys, but his wife tells him to not do that. Just keep playing with the kids. As they both start to argue, not between her and him. No. Her and him are arguing of course he says he's subordinate. He's one of my zombie crew members. And I tell him what to do. Oh. And yeah, all that stuff. And when she heard that through that argument thing, when she looked over, she sees both of them arguing. With each other's. As then she brought up that you who need to keep your subordinates from walking around the castle all the time. And because my little baby girl will need her daddy. So, yeah. So and of course, this is like, I was gonna make her eyes pop out of her head, but I'm like, you know what? Nah. Just make her surprised. Yeah, so she was surprised to hear that, as she just now remembered who he is. As she does her thing, yeah. So he still hangs out with her, as she could tell that he had such like dead eyes, but so then the whole like thing, but between, that thing about the Chopper and Rose versus like, well, one other people commanded him to basically, or commanded the Zoro knockoff version and Sanji knockoff version to go attack them and then all that stuff. As she was there trying to convince him, she tried her best to convince him, as he got told, as he doesn't even notice them, or as he and so Chopper tells her that he's already too gone, and his body he's too far gone from it. As she starts to tear up, as she starts to cry, because she knows that in her eyes, he always cared about her, no matter what. He even, would rather battle against the guy that was trying to kill her, throwing her off the window, or out of a window. Yeah. So, basically, but then, of course, that guy that controls the zombies, not him, but because he has the shadows thing, but the other guy had a zombie power, not the Delpher, but his actual power, or technically would be a Delval fruit, and it's called Zom fruit. Yeah, so it allows the user to bring someone back from the dead, and he controls them, full control of them, until someone beats them, the user. So he wasn't fooled by anyone, as his love, or his true love, was with her. His body might appear to be, but he isn't actually dead. He came right back to life after. So he had a straight face as he does that stuff. And Rob, I always end up saying her name wrong. Is it Rob? Yeah. So I almost forgot. During the summer thing, basically when everyone wants to go swimming, so she got put on a bathing suit thing, and she ends up jumping into the water, bringing him with. He had so much fun. So did her and her daughter. Yeah, basically, it was kind of messed up, though. So then after he got told to basically, hold on. Can you hear me now? Hear me now? Sorry. So basically the and but the in order to keep his human side like from getting too corrupted, and like he has sometimes in his bedroom when he was just before he got married, had a kid with her, he actually had a room, and yeah, all about his true love right there, as he's trying to fight himself oh on it. So yeah, as let's say when they were like walking around trying to find something, and she turns, and she had a surprised look on her face. And yeah, when she saw her pictures onto his wall, oh, sorry about that. So he ended up, or so he as yeah. So he basically tells him, or she tells the Nami and Usopp to basically, she only has one person that she has in her head, and she has one person in her head that loves her so much, as that she still cares about. And yeah, she thought it was weird that she has portraits after portraits of her in his bedroom, and he does that more experiments things. He still hangs out with his like daughter. So his daughter has as a same thing. Yeah. And don't ask me how if I had to, but like, yeah. So, and no, it's not a ship between him and her, because I actually picked her and Zoro. Or actually, I know that Usopp, the one that beats her in the line competition thing, like, she basically turned that into that. And that's what happened. And it was time, and yeah, so then the zombie guy that had a zombie fruit one told him to go oh, get that debris off of him and all that stuff. And that guy looked at him um with us as he remembers who he is, as he, like, yeah, he says that, or he murmurs the love isn't hatred, but true love is the, as he actually says the name in that murmuring thing, and it's her. Yeah, he loved her, and she could she could understand that mumbling in really well. And so basically she looks at him and smiles as he turns around. He left. As he died, or not dies, but that guy was, like, basically dead. Like, the oars, or whatever, yeah, oars, came in, stomps on him, kills him, and then of course, only one person that figured out that as he turns around, he looks away. As he looks looks right at her. As she smiles at him. Oh, sorry. Yeah, she smiles at him. As he walks up. And of course, the girl, the one that was the pink-haired girl, found out. And yeah, as she basically went into, she told him that that's your human life. You're a zombie now. You do obey. Hey, I'm not dead. And, by the way, I'm immortal. See, as she's confused on what, as he tells her that before I went over to see what she was doing, as he points to her, I injected myself with the undead serum. So basically, I'm the mortal. I'm indestructible. So yeah. he doesn't want to have her or have the. And basically, as of course, instead of killing her right then and there, of course, the girl runs up and stops him as he tells him that, or this is a, like, the, how do you, or of course, she turns around, she tells him, or no, she tells her, how do you feel about having, or actually, he looked at, or no, she looks at him, tells him, how do you feel about double date thing? Like, you're already married to her, and so, and of course, of course, he was like surprised is about it. And she wants him to get married to her too. So she's not picky to like get married things. So he accepts it. As both of them, as she's like, you're trying to take her man back, aren't you? Well, as he says that I see what she's saying. Since after in the human thing, when I was hanging around with you, who and her, I kind of like both of you. As he doesn't want, or he chose both of them to be his wife. Or wives. Yeah. So basically he was, of course she kind of understands what he's referring to, as that other girl says, you'll see me more, or you'll see me more, or as she didn't object. So basically, yeah. So he looks at Robin and tells her that the reindeer or Chopper to go help your crewmates. And as he tells both of them that he's sick and tired of this island anyways. So, yeah. So she basically asks him, how about our daughter? What do you think? I think that bring her, because she is part of this family. Our family. So, as she understands what it means, like between her, the her and her. Yeah, basically, so both her and that girl went in and took like, of course, she took her daughter, no, and absolutely, positively went on a boat, like, okay, and they know that they have to do something, because he believes that he was, or that she doesn't have a bounty on her head and thing, because yeah, so they left out and basically went over and over again. And yeah, basically, eh, basically, they found a house, but before they even got onto the boat, the vampire bat thing tells them, where are you guys going? The master doesn't want you to escape. As he didn't realize that someone was right behind him. And you know that someone was? Of course, the guy that got transformed into a better version of the of himself. Like a lot more thinner, buffed up version, knocks him in the head as he grabs him, lifts him up into the air, as he tells him that he looks right at him, tells him that tell the boss that we want to go to some other island, as we don't need all that stuff. So yeah, basically he does. And yeah. So then all that stuff happens. He tossed him all the way. Hits, you know what he hits? He hits oars. Right in the head, knocking him out. Yeah. So, yeah. As they both are, like, happy that. And so they got onto the boat with some supplies. And so it was time for them to leave. So they leave. and they make sure that everyone's shadows were present. And yeah, because and so after the whatever arc, the one that like, so the theme, it was, so they knew, or they know that his or daughter doesn't, or actually his daughter was basically a, not stupid, but the so she decides needs to like have her own kid come from her body. Yeah. So yeah, so then that happened after they got married, and then they had they did the deed to her. And she became, or she gave birth to, actually 2 siblings. 3, basically. 2 boys, 1 girl. So, yeah. Because he's a doctor, he understands it. As yeah. So, basically, as he tells them that if you really think about it, it's basically one girl, 1 boy from the 2 of you is like, man. Hey? So then, yeah, she might be the oldest one. The other girl is the second oldest, and 2 kids are, one is younger than the other. Yeah, so he basically, so he expands the city, or his little house thing, and of course the government comes in and and he got, or they got told, if they want to like keep their prized possession, or yeah. So he tells the Marines that they just want to live a peaceful life, doesn't worry about anything else. Okay? As not trying to say it rudely, but as one of the Marines agrees with him. So now this is the end of the video. Please leave a like, share, subscribe. Peace.